Right now, I'm giving music producers 8 of my VST plugins, 7 which have never been released to the public. Every drum kit I've ever created, 51 drum kits. So all of my Traumah drum kits, all of my ER drum kits, every drum kit. My courses, my music production courses. The reason I'm doing this, part of it is I'm bribing you. This is a bribe for you to join my private music producer community. The bigger picture though is it's bigger than just plugins, courses, and drum kits. I'm going to get into that. Before we get into the bigger picture of it all, I want to show you exactly what you get. Okay, so now we're inside the Ape Army, and this is the arsenal section where you access all of your courses, plugins, drum kits, everything. So this is the first plugin you'll see, which is the Arsenal plugin. It's basically like our Ape Army version of the Westside plugin because it comes with basses, pads, leads, effects, the whole 9, right? And then the next one you see is the Drum Tank plugin, which is a plugin that comes with banging drum sounds. And you've seen me cook up a lot of my beats for the last year with this plugin. And then you also get the Warhead 808, which is an 808 plugin specialized for my Ape Army troops. So once you join, you get access to this banging 808. So if you make trap beats, if you make some of the West Coast beats instead of using the synth bass, you like the 808s, you'll love this plugin. Stank Face Bass, I love this plugin. This was basically created to be our Ape Army version of the Bigfoot bass. So it has a whole nother element of bass sounds to it. You probably see me use it. I've done one video I posted where I redid the beat to the Spice One, and that one actually did pretty good on TikTok. People are still commenting on that and loving it. Even the OG producer Ant Banks, salute to the legend. He seen the video, and he put some fire emojis under it because he was funking with it, which I'm proud because I'm like, yo, that's one of the cats I grew up listening to, the legend. G-Funk Drums, this is the only plugin inside here that's ever been released to the public. So if you don't have it yet, you get access to it inside the Ape Army. Any plugin I release in the future, I give to my Ape Army troops now too, so you don't have to pay for the plugin. You're gonna get it for free. Brass Monkey, and before I get into that, the Apex plugin, which is going to be the super Ape Army plugin, or super Apeshyt plugin, is you're going to get access to that too, being a member. But then Brass Monkey, this one just came out. I've been using it on some of the beats you've heard that I've created with G-Funk Drums. If you hear horns in there and brass sounds, it's going to be from the Brass Monkey plugin. Same thing with these 2 key plugins. Con Keys is pianos. So you got clean pianos, there's some gritty pianos, a few filtered pianos, and it's just all piano sounds. So if you've been looking for a piano type plugin with that rugged edge, hip hop sound, and you could use it for R&B stuff too. You could use it for trap. You could use it for pretty much anything. Rilla Keys, this is an electric piano plugin, so all the Rhodes and Wurlitzers type keys, which I love because a lot of the funk music that I listen to and grew up listening to has these key elements inside of it. So I wanted to create my own version of it, and I shared it exclusively to my Ape Army troops. So that's what you get as far as the plugins. And then the course, the courses, before we get into the courses, 51 drum kit. So this is every Traumah drum kit I've ever created, from the Traumah drum library all the way to all the sounds inside the secret sound unit that were only available for the producers who were a part of the secret sound unit, right? So you get all of that when you join, right? You don't have to wait months or anything right now as it stands, because I was going to set it up to where you have to wait a certain time period to unlock certain things, but I wanted to give these gifts to you just straight up. Some of the stuff you do, like this drum alchemy course, you have to become a certain level. I believe it's a major. You have to become a major in my Ape Army to get access to this course, which you become a sound alchemist at that point, and you're able to unlock other possibilities and opportunities once you do that. Bang Theory is a course that's coming soon. Is basically my if you ever took my 7 elements of beat making course, then that I taught you know, the basic, my formula for making beats, and I broke it down in 7 elements. Well, this is like that, but super, it takes you through everything. So building the beat, arranging the beat, mixing the beat, and then finally getting it, you know, done and off your hard drive and putting it out there. So that's what Bang Theory is. It's coming soon. I'm working on that as we speak. Music Monopoly is a course that you get, which teaches you how to get your music placed in television film. Exactly how I started. 2009, I got my first television placement on the Tyra Banks show, then Extra, then Judge Mathis, and you know, just on from there. I still get royalties from that till this day, and it's been what, like 17 years, right? Which is amazing, because once your music gets into that system, you're gonna make money off of it forever. You talk about royalties, and it's, man, I won't get into all that because I don't want to make this video super long. But if you've been chasing like major placements, this is where the real money is in television film music. So this is an audio course. You could be in the gym or taking a walk, and you'll be able to buy. It's an hour long, about like 55 minutes. By the time you're done with your workout or your walk, you'll know exactly what to do to start getting placements, getting your beats placed. Okay. Baseline Boogeyman producers always ask me, yo, Braumah, how you making the bass lines like that? I go into it in this course. You'll learn my perspective and my strategy when it comes to creating bass lines. I even show you some tricks to get them to sound super funky, and I also show you some sound design techniques that I use to create basses that thump, right? Okay, so those are the courses. There's a couple of other courses too that are coming in. I do have a whole sample pack arsenal that I'm going to be putting in here with like almost 50 different loop sample packs that you'll have access to completely royalty free. And we're just going to keep going. Also, once a month right now, you'll be able to join. We're going to go to the boot camp once a month, every third Sunday, which this month, since Father's Day is this month, we're going to probably do it this week instead. You'll be able to get on the call and get feedback. It's called the Playback Boot Camp, right? And we're going to start having weekly sessions too. So once a week, we're going to come in. It's either going to be a mastermind or something similar to the Playback Boot Camp. So you're probably wondering, why am I giving away 8 plugins, 51 drum kits, courses, and live sessions, all for only $37 a month? It sounds stupid when I say it out loud. I can't believe it myself. But the bigger picture is this. As a music producer, your goal is to stay motivated and inspired to keep creating. With all these different social media platforms out there, we get sucked up into the daily drama, the war, or the news, and all of the stuff that doesn't contribute to our creativity. If anything, it drains us. So I wanted to create a safe place, a safe space for music producers to come and still be able to connect with each other, right? Without all of the noise. I was listening to this interview with 2 of the guys from Shark Tank. I can't remember their names right now. One is the Mr. Wonderful dude, and I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. But anyway, they were talking about how Steve Jobs, Mr. Wonderful, talked about what he learned from Steve Jobs is the biggest thing is to get rid of the noise. There's signal and there's noise. If you could focus on the signal, which is what you're supposed to be doing, right? So if you're a music producer, you're supposed to be creating tracks and getting them out there. That's the great thing about social media, is using them to get out there. But when it comes to creativity, it takes away from that. It becomes noise, which distracts you from your creativity, right? So you want to get out of that element. But he said he learned that from Steve Jobs, that if you can ignore the noise and focus on the signal, your creativity, your calling, your passion, then you can become a millionaire, a billionaire. That's how they did it. So you have to be able to focus, and that's why we focused all of this about music producers building together, iron sharpens iron, sharing ideas, getting feedback from one another, building with one another, right? There's producers in my network inside this Ape Army right now that have became like brothers. It's a brotherhood that we're creating. It's bigger than just collecting more plugins and drum kits and all of that. Sure, you're going to get those. I'm going to be giving them to you all the time as far as like sounds and stuff, even creating, exclusive expansions for certain plugins or, things of that nature. But it's bigger than that. It's really about coming together as a collective of music producers that become a unit and move in unison so that we could build a bigger, brighter future for, you know, our passion and our careers. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's really about. Of course, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Instagram and all of these places and connect with producers, but there's going to be more noise. The algorithm is going to want to push this to you that has nothing to do with what you want to do, right? Some of it can, but what if you had a place where you can come that's just focused on creativity and building with one another? That's what the whole thing is about. When I look back on my journey, I didn't become who I am now today without the help from other producers. Even if it was just inspiration, even if it was just me sitting in a lab with, like, you know, some of my producer mentors and watching them work and seeing what they did, seeing how they, you know, did certain things with the drums or the bass or the keys. It all came from rubbing shoulders with other producers who have, you know, they might be more advanced in certain areas where I need to strengthen. That's what it's about. That's what the saying iron sharpens iron comes from. I might be great at drums and bass lines. I had to learn how to play keys, and that came from being around other producers who were great at that and them showing me what that was really about, right? Same thing with mixing, right? I became a better engineer when I seen other engineers, what they were doing and why they were doing it. How to send stuff, what is a bus, what is an aux track, what is all that. That came from the knowledge of other great producers who helped me understand that. That's what the Ape Army is about. That's what we're building here. Also, getting feedback. Feedback is important because if you're creating in a vacuum, how do you know what it sounds like? It may sound dope to you, but when you bring it to another producer whose ears have been trained, they might hear something that you don't hear. I remember that happened with another famous producer. You know, I'm not going to say no names though, but I remember playing him a beat of mine, right? And me and my producer homie did this beat together and we played it to him and I did the drums, right? And he was like, yeah, man, it sounds dope, but you got to be careful with things being off time. In my ears, once he said that, I heard exactly what he was talking about. I didn't hear it before that, though. It was a percussion sound that was a little bit before the beat. I needed to push it a little bit more to either be right on the beat or behind the beat a little bit, right? Or after the beat, I should say. But I wouldn't have never known that. I would have put that beat out there and never even heard that and would have been fine with it. And it probably would be years later. And then I finally hear it. I'm like, oh, shoot, that mug is off. I know that's happened to you. But when you're in a community of other producers who are listening and actively giving you feedback, especially myself, I'm in a group giving feedback on beats all the time, then you're going to be able to get that coaching. You're going to be able to get that connection and bounce ideas off other producers who are doing it for the same reason why you are, because we're passionate about it and we love it. So imagine being in a situation where you could get feedback off your music or even give feedback because you have value too. This place is for you to express your expertise and show your value. Help another producer just like producers are helping you. Sharing ideas, right? That's what I said, bouncing ideas off of one another. Sharing wins. Sometimes I'm inspired by a win. Someone can say, yo, I just got a placement, or, you know, this rapper just hopped on my track and, you know, I just sold a beat. That is a win. That's a victory. That's what it's really all about at the end of the day. And you get out of that inner competition and into a mode of collaboration and co-creation, because it's always been about. When you started making music, I started making music as a kid. I was 14 years old. So it was really about the fun and love of it. And that's what we're bringing back, the passion. The whole reason why we're doing this is for that reason too. So, you know, that's what we're trying to build here. You know, imagine being in a space where you can come to every day and get love and feel like you're connected in a network of individuals who are going in the same direction that you are. Some people may be a little further, so you see the steps, you see the breadcrumbs that they left behind, because you'll see how they got there. And plus, we're really just getting started. I have 3 other plugins that are about to release. Subzilla, Funkzilla, Stringzilla, right? These plugins are almost done and they're about to be released inside the Ape Army, so you're going to get those too. So if you're looking for more sounds, you'll get that. If you're looking for more training, you'll get that too. But the biggest thing is connecting with producers, like-minded producers who understand what you're doing and who could help you and who you could help as well. That's what the Ape Army is all about. So if you're ready to become part of the community, the link is below. Just click on the link and it'll take you right to the community page. You could join right there and you get immediate access to everything I just showed you. Okay? So I'll see you on the inside. Peace, love, and beats.